Hello, hello.
Hello, Ben. Long time.
Yeah. Welcome back. Did you have a nice
Yeah,
vacation?
yeah. All right.
Nice. Not bad,
Long,
not
long
bad.
vacation at least.
Did you go anywhere, or did you just kind of like do a
Uh,
staycation?
Mostly we have been busy cleaning out my mother-in-law's house and also renovating our own house
Oh, so
quite a
you
lot.
didn't?
I
You,
haven't been lazy really.
yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound like vacation. That
No, no,
sounds
no.
like yeah,
Well, it was vacation from CDEvents and other kind of work, but
yeah,
not
but not
from
life.
life, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
And yourself?
Cool.
How's the
Yeah.
summer
I've
been?
been just been busy with work and yeah, just a lot of things going on with
Mhm.
CD events as well as you know. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
just chugging along.
Yeah. No more travels to Europe.
Not re my next travel I'm planning in December is actually going to be to the Caribbean. So I'm
Oh,
going to do that, and then next year is probably going to be Australia, and then the year after that we're thinking about Spain. So that's kind of
cool.
the plan.
Because you were in France last, wasn't you?
Yeah, I
Or
was in
yeah.
France. Yeah, I wanted to check out Spain, which is just south of France. So but my family wanted to stay in Paris at because
Mhm.
it's obvious, right? Paris is Paris. But I
Oh yeah.
love Spain. Like I love their food. I love especially their ham. Like their ham is I love it. So like I
Mhm.
really wanted to visit, but so that'll have to be the next trip or the next
See.
few years.
Yeah. Sure. Right. So last time this meeting occurrence occurred, there were no participants except myself, so it was more or less closed. But now it is we are you and I. Let's see if anyone else joins. Should we?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of confusion.
Hmm,
Like 3 SIGs ago, it was mentioned. I think Andrea talked about it a little bit, but it
okay.
sounded like that the CD event would be kind of like happening less frequently. So I think that might be the reason. Like, oh yeah, like
Yeah. Was it something said? Well, I think during August it should only be every other week, I think. Let me see here now. What was said? Summer schedule. Andrea is off in August, we know that. And I was off. Alternate seed events with implementation. So every other week there is either seed events or implementation.
yeah, that was the gist of
Or
it. So I
so I
think that
think
might have been why there was no
okay.
one last time.
All right. But today it's you and I at least.
Yep. I think there's still confusion around like when it's happening. So that's probably why people aren't here.
Uh,
But
Maybe I guess the calendar is there. So I guess if people go there, they would see. But I also saw, was it yesterday that there was an update from who was it from now on our meeting? Was it by David? Let me check. David Bernard, yeah. He updated, and it seems that he changed it so that it occurs now every Monday, this working group meeting. But that's a bit strange because that's not how it should be, I think.
oh,
Uh,
gotcha.
so yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure why he did that change, but if I understood the change correctly. Anyway, uh, let's get to today's meeting. Where are we? Here we are. I think I'm +1. I never remember.
I just put CST. I'm like UTC.
Yeah,
I gotta look that up.
yeah, that's fine. So, no new attendees, almost no attendees at all. Action items, there were some from Andrea during the summer. I don't know that these are happening or have happened yet. So yeah, and as you said, clarification of two different event SIGs, work groups. Yeah. So I wanted to spell this out, but I guess you know anyway.
Mhm.
So this meeting is then focusing on protocol related topics. That's the intention, but of course we can use it for other purposes if time allows. And then we have the implementation work group, which is the other meeting on Tuesdays, every second Tuesday normally, where implementations on top of the protocol are discussed, SDKs and tools and those things. Does that resonate with you? Is that?
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Good. So we're on the same page there at least. So in what would fit in this meeting then is discussing the 0.5 planning. And of course we can say some words about that, you and I, since we are maintainers, both of us. We had the last release in April, and since then there haven't been too many changes, mostly admin related. There was the breaking change for naming of some. Let me check. Which one is that now? Was it like linked something here, but it was. Let me see, which one is that?
Yeah, I think links we renamed a couple things to not be from snake case to camel case.
It is this one, right?
Yes.
Is the camel case. So this one was a breaking change.
Yep.
Yeah. So we need to be aware of that. Oh, sorry. We need to be aware of that change. Yeah.
And then I plan on creating a PR probably sometime this week is my goal. I'll probably try to do it tomorrow, but or Wednesday is probably my goal. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, since we're on the topic of breaking changes. So we have in the core events, pipeline run and task run, right? And all of our other events subjects are nouns, except for the core events. They're adjectives, right? Pipeline run and task run. Do we want to
no, I mean they are actually subjects, I would say. I mean, a pipeline run is something that you can have multiple of. It's a thing, right? A run.
right.
But
I guess
know. I mean, it's not the predicate or not the verb run. It's rather an instance of an execution.
exactly. Well, yeah, I was thinking if I see. So you're not thinking it's hard because run is
I know. I mean, it has double meaning. I mean, the word could be both a verb and a subject.
Yeah. So I was wondering if we should do pipeline or pipeline execution or task. Well, I guess those are long. Maybe that's why.
I think we discussed that long time ago if it should be called execution or run.
Oh, really? Gotcha.
Calling it a pipeline by itself, I mean, then that would sound like you want to say that now there is a new pipeline definition. I mean, a new.
I don't think so by the predicates, right? Because the predicates is started and queued and things of that nature.
Yes, that's true. So queued and right. So pipeline queued.
Yeah, and I think if we did things with pipeline, right, and if we just had it as pipeline, then we can add things like created or deleted, right? But having it as pipeline run, I think with the run, it makes it very I think it's a lot odder because none of our other categories really fit that, and it kind of restricts it to adding more predicates that might be outside of an execution, right? So that's why I was kind of wondering if we want to potentially add that. And the reason is because like some deployment tools, like when a pipeline is created, maybe it wants to do something, right? With that creation, or when it's deleted, maybe it wants to make sure that when that pipeline is deleted, that the resources in Kubernetes or whatever has been cleaned up as well, right? So I think there's some benefits there, removing run. Oh, there's also a comment, or there's already an issue
there
for
was
this.
An old issue about this long time ago, or no, not that long time ago, in April.
Oh, April. Okay.
See. Aha. From, let me see. Yeah.
Okay, and it was closed. I wonder why.
The additional clarity provided by run is worth the right. So that's it. Yeah. Users are new. All right. I do agree that naming line can be important, but I'm not sure if it allows. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if this was ever brought up on one of our meetings.
No, I don't think so.
April 30th. Let me check quickly if I go back in time a bit. Or long way here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, look here. There's mostly, okay, about mapping it to OpenTelemetry. Most people in the room prefers to keep the run part in the name. So yeah, it was actually brought up there.
Okay.
So I don't remember. Well, I can see if I was there. It rings it rings a bell to me actually. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
so I
wasn't
was there,
there.
but you were not.
Okay. Yeah.
At least
So
not according to this. Yeah, so that's why you don't recognize it, I guess.
okay. So it was a little bit
But for sure,
ago.
we can I mean revisit it. That's no problem, I guess. I
Yeah,
suppose. So
we can definitely revisit it. And like I said, I think the benefit of just pipeline allows you to add more predicates that are outside of execution, as well as having things that are specific to execution as well. So I think that'll be really, really beneficial.
yeah.
So yeah, okay, yeah, well, we can think about it some more as well. But yeah, that was something that I wanted to bring up. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up as well is if you look at the pipeline run, there is no indication of like what triggered it, which I think is important. Like whether it was a person, whether or who did it basically. And I think that's an important thing to call out because that is a standard in all APIs of both CI and CD, is that there's always a reference to who or
Some
what
kind of
started
trigger.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
So I
agree.
think that's something we need to add, and I can create a GitHub issue. And I felt that was missing when I was looking at the pipeline run.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we have that in iFile, and I would miss that if I would implement CDEvents myself, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, for sure. I don't know if there is any reason. I'm trying to go back in my mind if that was discussed anytime.
Not from not from what I recall. And there could absolutely. Oh, that's just use cases.
No, but it's not that one, I think.
But I think a lot of this is easily missed as well, just because
Yeah, yeah.
it seems
But
so
I mean,
obvious until you look at it, right?
yeah. I mean, it's not until
Implement.
for real implement it that
Yeah,
you'll see
exactly.
it. So, yeah. No, but it doesn't look like it has been discussed, at least not in an issue. So
Okay, I'll create an issue for this, and then I'll also create a PR for this on Wednesday since we're going to revisit 207, and see if we should keep pipeline run, or if we should rename it to something else more appropriate. But yeah.
right, good. Yeah, I agree that that's a simple thing to add, and it would be
Yeah.
would add value. Sure.
All right, cool. And then what else? Okay, so I have a doc. I'll share a doc probably
Hmm?
sometime towards the end of the week of like 0.5. Like I basically did like a tool. Like I went through all of like the CI CD or CD consuming tools, like tools that consume continuous deployment
Hmm.
systems. That's like security tooling, that's observability tooling, that's like config feature map, or feature flag type of services, and kind of like looked at what was potentially missing or what needs to be renamed, etc. So I'll share that doc also towards the end of this week, which is going to help 0.5 kind of give it some direction as well of like where things need to move. But it's basically just making sure that when a continuous or when a deployment or an environment event is created, tools that are utilizing it can either make sense of the thing that's, that's consuming, or B, events that are just missing it altogether need to be added. So that's something that I will also be adding as well shortly.
Sure. Have you been looking at the milestone on the roadmap here? There's quite
Yes.
a lot of things there.
Yeah, and I think we need
They're
to
still
start
open.
tackling some of them. So yeah.
Yeah. There are lots I mean, we cannot keep all of them for ODOT 5, but of course we need to discuss what should be there and what should not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure if
me,
there's a rush to release ODOT 5 very soon, but the sooner we want to release it, of course, the more we need to remove from this list.
exactly. And one thing that kind of came out from one of the meetings with a few of us is that we added this to be considered label.
Right.
Mostly because, users that are authors of the GitHub issue, etc., wasn't present. So we wanted at least them to give their reasoning, or if they want to keep it in 0.5, etc. So
Right.
so I think some of these are,
I
a
see
lot
my
of
name.
these are yours. Yep. A lot of these are yours. So it's just mostly like, do we want to consider this for 0.5? Do we want to, just talk about it some, kind of get some ideas on the value, etc. That's kind of the idea there.
Yeah. So yeah, should I explain some of them now, you think, or should we take that in a meeting when we are all maybe all at least you and I,
Probably. Yeah, I think when there's more of us, definitely, when with Andrea, you, and one thing I did want to ask is actually 124 is the content dot outcome field is not declared as an enum. Because I know we had so this one. So because we talked a little bit about this, because I brought this up and I noticed that you created an issue for this, and I wanted to keep it in 0.5. But yeah, I was just kind of wondering how important do you think it is for 0.5 as well? I think it's pretty important, considering it's going to be a breaking change because it's going to make things enums. But yeah, just wanted to get your opinion on it.
I mean, we have it for testing events, right? I think that's where it came from. So
yep.
There are enums there for, is it test case finish JSON, for example? Well, it doesn't say an example, of course. Sorry. Let's take this one then.
Yeah,
so
enums.
Outcome is further down. Where is it? No. Did I miss it?
I think I think I just saw it.
That's there. So it must be somewhere.
ID. Oh, it's not in there. What the hell?
Oh, it must be. I must have missed it. No.
Outcome. There it is. Very top. Very first property. Down after content, line 50, 60. Yeah.
I'm blind. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. And then another comment. Should these be past tense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Past tense instead.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it should maybe be uppercase even. No.
Yeah. I don't think it matters too much, but yeah, but we can definitely discuss it.
Everywhere.
But yeah, I think maybe making them uppercase just to signify that's an actual enum, just to might make it helpful for readability. Like that might be useful. So okay, cool. So I agree with you. I just wanted to get some context because I was planning on working on this as well, because I wanted to kind of like chug through the 0.5 roadmap or issues. But just wasn't sure like all the things that you were thinking about when you created this issue. But it sounds like we're on the same page.
So I think that's it. Is it the same then for, if we look at what it is today on the pipeline run?
Yeah, it's just strings right now.
We have outcome as a string. So what I was thinking now is that in the testing events, we also have a reason, which is a string. So we have something that is still a free text string, which more or less amends to the outcome a bit, so that you can still have a free text.
Oh, gotcha. That's a good addition. I like that.
Yeah, so like a description or a reason for why it passed or why it failed, I guess.
Gotcha. Let's
I think
okay.
that's
I think
quite powerful. And we should have the same, I guess, for the pipeline
yeah,
run.
yeah, I agree.
And we
And
have
one thing
what we call outcome now, but maybe that should be, I don't know if reason is a good term actually, but yeah, more or less more description or outcome description.
description or yeah, we can find a good word, but one thing that we can
Yeah.
do as well is whatever we decide on, we can add that to the linter too. Like if there's an outcome field, there should also be whatever the new field is, a reason or whatnot, just so it keeps it consistent.
I was looking for test output, but that's not the same thing. That's a log or something. But I think, don't we have outcome as an object somehow? No, it's just an enum. Okay. I thought it was an
Oh,
object.
and
But if it's
okay.
an object, it could be like a verdict and a description or something as
Yeah.
a complex object of an outcome. But
Yeah.
because this is the reason is described in this way related to the
Gotcha.
outcome, and it could be one of these, for example. Yeah, so I think that makes good sense, and I think we should have the same for a pipeline run and a task run. I mean, that could also be cancelled or failed or with some,
Right.
so that makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that though. Let's make that consistent, and then let's remove the to be considered because I mostly told on like I asked Andre to add that because I wasn't sure like what like all the things that you wanted for that. But I think this is really important. So
Yeah.
I yeah really want this for 0.5.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good.
I'll work on that this weekend on Wednesday,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
I'll try to get those 2 PRs out as well, so we can start kind of like chipping away at this,
Good.
and then we can start figuring out what we want to include and exclude as well.
Mhm. Perfect. Right. So is that it, or should we go through the lists in more detail, I think, or?
We probably should wait a little bit because I think what's going to happen is we went through the list without you, um, and then we added this to be considered label. And then I think what's going to happen if we go through the list again is that since Andrea is not here, or any other we're going to have to add more to be considered because we don't have all the context. So I think we maybe should probably wait, but we can definitely talk about some though, that's for sure, or at least go
I
through
think,
the to be considered ones.
yeah, I think this one is interesting. This is one of those. So for some of them we have started. Well, all of them have started and finished. These are all like activity type events, right? They represent an execution of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And but only some of them have the predicates queued. I think all of them could be considered queued, depending on what your system looks like. But I
Right.
think that should also be more streamlined.
Consistent. Yeah.
And then we have again the discussion about run and not run, but because there is no test suite run, it's just a test suite. But maybe this is old now. Where is it?
Yeah, Test Suite was actually when I first joined, it was being introduced. So it's quite old.
Right. Is it still test suite? Oh, I can see it here. It's still, sorry for messing
Yeah, no
around.
worries, no worries.
Now it's test suite run and test case
Oh,
run. So
okay.
that's at least the same now. But the build, I think, is still a build and not a build run. But maybe that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Having
See,
a
but
build run, but still it's some
I
kind of execution, right?
but I think that's what was confusing to me because I was looking at continuous like deployment, continuous integration. I saw build and didn't
Yeah.
have run, and I was like, why does pipeline have run? Because I was just
Yeah,
like, this is
exactly.
really weird. So, and that's why I was like, maybe we should just remove it because like that I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. But
This should
yeah,
be it's the same all over, I think, everywhere.
yeah.
That makes more sense. So no service have a predicate field that would see now the service has left the queue. So cancelled. I think that maybe have been.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I see
We
what you're
had
talking about.
didn't we? Now we had a skip.
Yeah, skip. Yeah. But
So I think that
that's not leaving the queue though. It's just well, I
no,
guess
sorry. Let's see now. Queue started finished. And again for testing, what do we have there? Now we have skipped as its own. We wrote somewhere what the sequence of these states is supposed to be. So the initial events can only be queued, started, or skipped. Terminal events cannot be followed by other events, is finished or skipped.
Oh, it's stateful. Interesting.
So if it is started, it needs to be followed by a finished event. If it's queued, it needs to be started or finished. So I think finished could say that it was within finished, you can say skipped something, right? Well, cancel. So, I mean, the intention of the orchestrator was to execute this test case run.
Right, right.
But then the actual test executor, which was triggered by the orchestrator, deemed it not necessary to run. So it was cancelled within the execution engine, and therefore it can still be finished. So from the orchestrator perspective, the test case run was finished, but no test was actually performed. So therefore it was finally. So I think that's the reasoning here. So cancel is an internal thing. So I think that part is maybe.
And there's another thing too. Like if you go to the skipped, because there's like two, well, there might be more than two, but there's two that I can think of skipping. There can be a skipping where someone canceled it. Then there could be a skipping because it doesn't need to run. Like there's no code change for that particular test, right?
What about if someone canceled it? Then it's not a skip. Then it's a cancel.
Oh, is there a cancel? Well, oh, so
cancel
they're not.
If it has started, then it can be cancelled. But if it was never started, but only queued, then it will be skipped.
Oh, I see. So skipped. Okay, skipped is its own thing. Gotcha. Okay.
So they skipped into places, either on the top
Gotcha.
or within the finished. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think that's quite sensible now.
Yeah. We had to kind of dig through it, but yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think so. So that's quite good. So I would, I don't know. It would be good to do this. And if we anyway would collect all non-backwards compatible changes, we could as well do these things. But not too much of this remains then, but it's some of it remain. And I think it's maybe the queued thing that remains for some reason. And the build doesn't have any run.
Well, the test case doesn't even have a run, right? Like that technically could have a run at the end or a suffix as well.
It does. Well, this is not the latest. Let me check.
Right. You're right, because test suite run had it. But so that probably means test case run had it as well.
Test case run had it.
Okay, so build is the only one that is missing. Okay, can we update that issue to say which ones were done, just so we can kind of like.
It says here some of this was fixed in 1.26.
Oh, gotcha. All
right. I think we can go there and see what was changed. That's
right.
That was changed, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so only build is left then. Okay, so that answers my question, because I was more or less like, which way do we go? Do we add it to build or do we take it away from pipeline and task? Okay, that makes sense. We don't need to revisit that then, and we can just add it to build. And I think that'll actually satisfy what else I was kind of having an issue with. Okay, so and it was related to this issue as well, which I didn't remember. Okay, good to know.
Remote to be considered hidden.
Yeah, definitely want to include that as well.
See it to be there, yeah. Good. What else was there? No, not pull requests. Now
There was one to the right. Pull requests.
I lost my own.
No. I think it was the right tab, right? To the right. No, tab. The right, the right, immediate right to your current tab. Yeah, that one. No. One over. One over. Over to the left, I mean.
Oh, to the left. But that's the.
No. To the right now. That one.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm too quick, but too slow at the same time. Yeah, okay. And this is by my colleague Matthias from long time ago.
Okay.
Versioning. So yeah. So the term version there is a bit confusing. It's called version both for the spec and for the event.
But it's in different buckets or different objects, right? So that should be fine.
One of them is in the in the context, and one is in
the subject, right?
Oh, let's see. How is it now? It's called version on top level, and that's the CDEvents specification version in the context. And then we have within one event, we have the type which also contains a version. Does it say version here as well? Yeah, it says version there as well. Not event version or something, but
Right.
yeah. So I guess what Matthias was after here was that this could maybe be clarified to be stated to be the spec version and not just the event version, so you're not confused. I'm not sure how important that is, but
Yeah, I
it's a
think
bit confusion as well. And I know people have been wondering about this. What is this version or what is that version? And which one should be draft and those things when you update
that
things.
actually that's a good point. I know when we've talked internally, I mean, it's been a while, but when I first talked about CDEvents here at Apple, like people were confused about that as well. Okay, that's a good point.
I think when you look at the cloud event envelope, isn't that also called version? And there it's, wait now. No, that's the cloud event spec version, maybe. Oh. Yeah, maybe we should revisit this at least and look into what if there are some options that are valuable to consider. But I'm not sure
yeah.
change things. But it was actually a comment to you about this. Ah, you proposed to make a study.
Oh yeah. Because I was curious, like if people were still having issues
Uh,
with this as well.
right.
Um,
Or maybe not then. I mean, I don't know, make a study. I don't know. How would a study be done? Is it a Slack
Oh,
comment
no,
or
no. It would just be, yeah, like a Slack be like, when you see the version field in these two objects, what do you
yeah,
think that means? And then, et cetera, et cetera.
right.
Um, and then add the prefix of like spec version or whatnot and say, is this more clear? And if they say yes, then we should go with that. That was kind of like my thinking. So we could set up a quick user study in Slack, and it could just be a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the change, and then just go with that. And we can let's try to, or if you want to take that, that would be fantastic because I'm kind of booked on all the stuff that I'm doing. But if you want to make a quick user study on that, just like, and then just say, like a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the change. I think that'll be sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We could do that.
Awesome.
Right. So anything else to bring up then?
I think that was the bigger ones that I was curious about, and you've answered
This is
them. So yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah.
will go ahead and do the run on the suffix of build. I'll do that this Wednesday, and then
Mhm.
I'll also whatever the other one was. I have it in my notes here. One sec.
I mean, this one is what we talked about a bit as well, having an outcome for the bit
Yes.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, that one as well. Yeah, we should. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and have a couple PRs by Wednesday. So we can
Mhm.
start kind of like going through this list and chopping it down some, as well as start making some progress towards 0.5 is the
Right.
goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. All right. So maybe that's it about 0.5 then.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh,
we can cross out where is it? Revisit, because yeah, my issue was just like things being inconsistently
yeah.
named.
Yeah.
Oops. Wait,
You can remove it. Go ahead and remove it.
yeah, I'll just add a strike to
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh, it
not a
doesn't
strike.
work if it's multi-line.
Gotcha.
But it's not
Okay.
multi-line. But it is
It's
that it's
not.
contained.
It's just probably
If you
not.
press the
All right, there we go.
yeah, good. Right. Okay. So then the only thing left that I added to the agenda was actually talking about when the next meeting is. Well, we said in the beginning that the series seems to be updated by David there.
Mhm.
We can maybe keep it for now and see what happens. Andrea, I think will come back later this week, or if it's next week. I think it's later this week.
Okay.
Then I saw in 2 weeks from, oh, sorry, next Monday. So if there would be a meeting, as it is in the schedule next Monday, I guess you have a Labor Day there, right?
Yep. About I'll probably be here. I wake up at like really early because the
Okay,
puppy.
so you might
Yeah.
work anyway.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we'll
but
see then if we should have a meeting then maybe. Depends.
just let me know. And if it's in the Slack channel, or if there's no cancel in the Slack channel, I'll be here.
So and then if we should have 2 week cadence after that, then 2 weeks from that date collides with the Open Source Summit in Vienna, which I know I will be there, and I think Andrea will be there.
Yeah, I think he's giving a talk actually. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
he'll be
maybe not.
there.
He will give a talk on the CD Mini Summit, I think, and not on the actual Open Source Summit. So he might
Oh,
not be there.
really?
I don't know. This
Oh,
is the
gotcha.
maybe I don't know if he will, but I will be there and will not be able to join.
Okay.
But
Makes sense. Makes sense.
we'll take that when it comes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works for
So
me.
that's those things. Anything else then?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, like I said, like the bigger ones were the to be considered issues, which we looks like we went through a couple, so that was
Mhm.
really nice to see. But yeah, there's nothing on my end. Like I said, I have a couple PRs plus a doc that's coming down our way. So I'll ping people in Slack once that happens.
Good. I'll see if I can find some room in my calendar to review them and
All
look
right,
into.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. But then I guess we can close for today.
Yep.
And yeah, it's good talking to you again.
Yeah. All right.
See you next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.